South African Airways has cancelled nearly all its domestic, regional and international flights scheduled for Friday and Saturday. No SAA flight will depart from any South African airport, and only flights from international destinations will return to the country. The cancellations are due to an announcement by the South African Cabin Crew Association and Numsa that their members will go on strike from tomorrow morning. Let's check in on the latest at OR Tambo International Airport now. ENCA's Heidi Jokos is there. Heidi, a very good morning again. Just a short while ago here on Today, I interviewed Tladi, speaking on behalf of SAA. He said there is a new offer on the table that the employer has presented to the unions overnight, and they'll be getting back to a meeting at about 2 o'clock today, and they hope to find a resolution.
Well, Barden, I think the best person to actually ask that is the General Secretary of Numsa, Jim. We saw him walking past and checking in his bags, flying with SAA to PE. So we've hijacked him and asked him to just join us. Thanks so much for your time, Jim. Let's just speak about the possibility of renegotiating with SAA. Tladi was on ENCA just a short while ago, and he said that SAA together with the unions are going to have some kind of discussion at 2 p.m. and they're hoping that they can renegotiate in hope that there won't be this massive strike tomorrow.
Well, I think we understand the severity and the impact of the strike to everybody. We are keen to negotiate and find settlement. We're obviously not going to negotiate through the media. We remain very resolved that tomorrow the strike will resume, and we will do everything in our power today to make sure, if a platform is open for negotiations, to ensure that we go into the negotiation with an open mind, with an intention to find a settlement.
Are you guys willing to back down on the 8%? Because just looking at SAA's financial status, given the fact that they are also looking at retrenching over 900 people, a lot of those people being your members, they're saying they can't even afford, the possibility of even affording a 5.9% salary increase is all dependent on what they get from the lenders. Are you guys willing to back down from that 8%?
Not at all. And that's why I said we shall not negotiate through the media. We have taken a very firm view that we reject this Section 189 for retrenchment. We think that this is an agenda to distract us from negotiating for our members to improve their benefits and condition, which are just. Secondly, we have got a list of areas where we of the view that a turnaround of SAA, if they were to cut costs, for instance, the evergreen contract they have with Swissport, with Shell, that are basically looting this airline, if we were to focus on that, we can actually make sure that workers get their increase. Secondly, there will be no need for retrenchment. And this is the reports that were done in 2015, that they are sitting with them, they are doing nothing. For what? When, in fact, if we are serious about cutting costs, there should be no holy cows. There should be an overall approach that makes sure that we reduce cost and make sure that this airline is efficient. And there's a turnaround strategy which we were supporting, which we know get aborted when Vianney Jachana was dismissed. All those bolts and nuts were part of that particular agenda. That's why we're saying we're not going to be pushed in where we stand. We think that 8%, they can afford it. But if they think differently, they must come to negotiations. As I say, we're open to negotiate.
So, yeah, we'll just have to wait and see what happens at 2 p.m. today. But just lastly, speak to us about the strike. You guys are planning to go on a massive strike tomorrow. It's about 3,000 people. How long do you expect this strike to go on? I know it's difficult to say, but is it going to be just on Friday? Are you going to go into the weekend and next week?
The strike will be an indefinite strike until our demands are met. However, as I say, a strike is a dynamic process. We want to end the strike before it starts. We will be available for negotiation to ensure that we end the strike. We're not looking for something else except that the demands of our members must be met. And it's not a rocket science to meet those demands. All what people must do must put aside their stereotypes and come to the negotiations and settle the strike.
So just quickly, sorry. Do you think there's a possibility that your demands will be met at 2 p.m. today and the strike won't go on tomorrow?
Well, I don't want to predict. I think that we must go to the negotiations. If they've got an offer that can settle this. I mean, yesterday we get told about 5.9, which is not on the table, which is ridiculous. I mean, how can you be saying to workers who are demanding 8%, you'll give them 5.9? And I'm saying, let's go to the negotiation. Let's see what they will put on the table. Because as things stand, they say, we will give you this in April next year. It will be guaranteed. There's no offer on the table.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks. That was Ivan Jim from Numsa, the General Secretary, basically speaking to the possibility of them perhaps renegotiating at 2 p.m. when the unions meet with SAA. So one will have to wait and see whether or not that can be renegotiated and whether, in fact, the strike will go on tomorrow as expected.
Thank you very much, Heidi Jokos. And just to recap, Kladi telling me a short while ago that even if there was a resolution this afternoon, it does not mean that all cancelled flights for Friday and Saturday will resume. They'll have to see and study and then make a call. So we await to see what's going to happen this afternoon.